I taped it down because it kept catching on the door, and I couldn't close my refrigerator door. So that's why there's no light in my refrigerator. It's not because I'm white trash. That's only part of it.
That's fair.
Okay, we have talked about how we need to find somewhere else to record. This is getting bad. But before we do that, guys, welcome to Serious Shit, where we seriously don't talk about shit. My name is Vincent Herman, on sort of my podcast known as Vin the Human.
James Odle, Alpha Spectre,
is looking at his phone, as he does when he usually ignores what we're recording, because he's so fucking popular.
Look, I'm handling a business. I'm like running a small circus. I've got midgets. It's like there's a whole thing going on here.
Well, I'm the Batman. So, yeah.
But you're wearing the Superman shirt.
Top to that. Well, I'm a big fan.
Wait, that's not right.
Travis Herman, Dr. T. Neal will be joining us, hopefully in the middle of this podcast. I don't know. You might just Did you shut the door?
No, the wind closed it.
Oh, shit. Anyways, yeah, he'll probably be popping in during this recording. But yeah, we gotta find somewhere else to record, because tonight, of all the, it's never this bad. Usually, sometimes there's a motorcycle in the background or a shitty fucking muffler.
I was gonna say, sometimes it's a motorcycle, maybe a car or two, diesel truck, something. Tonight,
maybe it's a beer cracking.
That's normal. But tonight, we have fireworks.
Jesus.
We've had dozens of cars.
There's no avoiding it. I think I may leave the fireworks in SMP. There's so much editing I have to do on that. I'm not excited. For once, I'm not excited to fucking edit one
those fireworks went off, and in the middle of us recording, I walked outside prepared to yell at people.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
But I didn't see it.
We're fucking weeks out from, as of recording this, probably even farther when this gets uploaded, but we're weeks out from 4th of July.
Almost 3 weeks.
And 5 huge ones. So fucking close we could see the light shining across our street. It
lit up the street
it lit up the fucking street. It was ridiculous. But, it's getting bad, man. But here's the thing, you have to send girls away every time.
Yeah.
You'd have to send the girls away every time. We'd have to make special accommodations at your house. And Bob's sons were part of the problem with recording his. There was talks that we would record in his shed.
Yeah.
His man cave.
That would be hotter than it would be in here.
Right? But still, it would have been a thing, quiet and shit. We're already fucking burning up as it is, so why not? But it was still an option, but he never got a hold of us to help him clean it up or anything like that. Now it's finally raining.
Yeah, now it's raining.
Finally raining. I don't know if you'll hear that in the back. I kind of hope not, but you
probably not.
Because we got to keep a window open, just to breathe in this bitch.
Me and Tiff are looking to get a house here soon.
Yeah.
But even getting a house, that's a 3 to 4 month process.
Yeah, and you have your nerd room, but recording in that is problematic too, because we can't. You have an air conditioner in there, but we can't have that on.
Right.
Yeah, so might as well if we want noise in the background, might as well just film here or record here. Well, I don't know, but it becomes how much noise versus how cool you want to be.
Right.
We got to figure something out. Maybe Travis's apartment. He's got an air conditioner as well. But then we have to deal with his girlfriend coming in after she gets off work. It's problems everywhere you look. The only place that really works out as far as there's so few problems is my place. And the problems are getting worse. This is the busiest fucking Saturday we've ever had. Cars everywhere. You're gonna hear them during this for sure.
The only thing that we could really do would be change rooms.
Yeah, we could record upstairs maybe, but it's hotter upstairs. We might be able to.
In the kitchen.
It's hotter in the kittion. But it'd be a better option.
We could set up a system of fans for the kitchen.
No, we might as well put the fan on in here if we're gonna do that.
Well, no, we could put the fan in the window, and then we could set one up in the back part of the living room to blow into the kitchen, but not like right at the kitchen door.
The fan in the window only does so much for the kitchen. So even like doing that, it might make the kitchen a little better, but no better than it's been in this room while we've been recording today.
Well, then why not record in the kitchen? Like we're away from the
Sure, why not? You know, I'm down. We could try it on the next recording date for sure. I'm in. Shit,
we can set up a fan like the Harley Quinn right above the computer there.
Right. There is. I've done a little remodel. There's going to be more. I've done a little decorating in the sort of my studios here, and right above where we're recording, right above the laptop, is a Harley Quinn Twi'lek crossover picture, slave Leia costume thing, and it's awesome and I love it, and it's there, and I'm keeping it there. They gotta.
What?
I just noticed something on this picture. I think I might take it down because I don't like it. The boobs are off center. Like, look at that. Look at the right one.
The under boob.
The under boob is so far down.
My god,
it's so weird. Maybe you could argue because she's got one shoulder up. The opposite shoulder is up, so maybe you could argue there's like her torso's at an angle.
Yeah, but then the bra thing should be more like this instead of almost side by side.
Well, you could also argue
it could be a Liefeld angle.
Well, you could also argue that Liefeld angle. You could also argue that the bikini is metal, so it doesn't move like a regular bikini, and maybe it stayed in the same place, but her body moved.
That is the most believable argument.
All right, I'm gonna go with that because I do like this. I mean, I spent fucking $20 on it. I gotta do it. Well, yeah, it was at a fucking convention.
Where at? Tricon?
I think this was Fandom Fest.
Mm.
Yeah.
If you would have gotten one of us to buy prints with you, it probably would have went down to like $7 or $8.
Oh, well, we were still new at that time.
We were.
Fandom, yeah.
Granted, I bought the most badass set of turtle prints at Fandom Fest.
They're so cool. They've been a living room piece of his forever.
And I got all 5 of them for $20.
Yes.
So.
Turtles and Splinter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look great.
You
know what isn't great? Fucking all of our celebrities are dying again.
Right?
Plus George A. Romero, he was we talked about him on the podcast on SMP.
And now we're losing so many of our musical talent that we grew up on. First we lost Chris Cornell.
We lost Chris Cornell. Did we talk about him on? We talked about him on.
I think we talked about him on serious shit.
Yeah.
But the thing, and the sad thing about it is, Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington were friends.
Yeah. Again, no clever lead in. We're talking about Chester Bennington. At the point this gets uploaded, it's probably old news. So, most people have stopped listening to the 30 Linkin Parks songs they put on their MP3s, if that's what the kids are still using these days. For me, it would be an MP3.
Most people's, Spotify and YouTube and Pandora and all
they'll
that.
have forgotten about that
Linkin Park's
station.
phasing out now.
But for me, I already had Linkin Park on my phone to listen to. I already had the Linkin Park station on Pandora. And we've been listening to them since the beginning. That was our generation.
As soon as they came out, they were...
I remember Reanimation. You brought Reanimation into my... I already had Hybrid Theory well encompassed into my world, and then you brought Reanimation in. And I was at first, I was this is the weirdest fucking thing ever. But then I couldn't stop thinking about the Crawling remix and the In the End remix. It grew on me real quick.
And that's what they do. And that's what Linkin Park has always done. They always change their sound from album to album.
They were my first soundboard band. With the Mr. Hyde, all of his ones. It was the first time I ever really, that one track on Hybrid Theory, now introducing Mr. Hyde. Yeah. That was the first time I ever really got into anything like that, and it was good. Because up to that point, it was all 90s alternative bands and shit. So,
these guys... And especially, the voice of Chester Bennington.
Perfect thing we could say. They influenced a generation of music. They really did.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and then, I read this statement from David Draymond and of Disturbed,
Yeah.
and it almost made me tear up. Like I finished reading, I'm like, holy shit! It was like a tale of his first encounters with Chester Bennington. Like some fun poking back and forth between them, but like the very first time Linkin Park opened up for Disturbed, and David Draymond heard them and went out, watched them from the side of the stage, went back to their dressing room. And he's like, guys, we gotta step up our game because these guys are fucking good.
For some reason, that makes me think of Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. And like every show where he's following someone, he's like, how are we gonna beat that?
But it's like,
I can just imagine David Draymond, he's standing there with all of Disturbed. He's like, how are we gonna follow that?
You know, we watched a video right before we recorded. Like I listened to it earlier today, and we watched it again, and you can see like Chester's been struggling with some mental issues.
Yeah, he talks about
how
he said it's been there his entire life and stuff. He talks about how it's been there like since he was young, since the beginning.
Yeah, and you know he even made the comment, you know, this time last year he was an absolute mess.
Says on the outside, he's just in Linkin Park. That's it. But like outside of Linkin Park, outside of the shows and all that stuff, he's Chester.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's a dad. He's a friend. He's a husband. All that, and and there's a lot goes into all that. But hearing him talk about his struggles and all that. Yeah,
and I mean, we
it was heartbreaking.
After that video, we won't say specifically because, like, oh wow, I just noticed serious shit actually got serious.
Right?
Wow. Took us 6. This would probably be the 7th episode. Mm-hmm. Took us 7 episodes, but we finally got serious. And it was after we watched that video, and I won't say what because it's the personal information on for you more than for me, but also some personal information about me and stuff. We had a very serious conversation about the effect this has on people's lives. And the decisions they make based on that, whether it's medication or counseling, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it's
like it hits home, and the thing is, stuff like this hits home for a lot of people. But a lot of people don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to bring it up. They don't know how to figure shit out.
Yeah, and now this is my personal opinion. I'm not saying this is a blanket thing. This is just how I see things, is that there was a time when people got the fuck over it.
Yeah.
Like, if it was so minuscule that they could talk themselves out of it in their head, they could get the fuck over it, and it'd be like maybe a year or 2 before it ever came up for them again and shit. It was so low grade.
Yeah.
Now things like bipolar and manic depressive, which is bipolar. Yeah. Most people don't realize that. I feel like it's been separated now.
No,
but they're the same fucking thing. Yeah. It's passed out like candy, like fucking ADHD. It's the exact same diagnosis as it. Well, no, not the same diagnosis, but it's passed out the exact same way as that diagnosis. Like everyone has depression. Everyone has bipolar.
Almost all of the servers, they all say that they have some kind of depression or anxiety in one form or another.
And then literally everyone has the fucking quip that they like to make, like, "Oh, it's just my ADHD," but you don't fucking have ADHD. You're just lazy.
Yeah, or like. My anxiety is getting the best of me, or it's like, I have anxiety. Like, no, you're just being a little bitch.
Anxiousness isn't, that's what people don't get. Basic emotions are basic emotions.
Yeah.
When you get sad, you're allowed to get sad. It's when the sadness is so overwhelming and it literally feels like a weight on you. Like, if you get up out of bed, you will die.
That's the thing, is like when stuff like this hits, it doesn't feel like there's a weight on you. You are physically sore. It hurts
it becomes a thing where
it becomes a physical ailment,
and then just every thought you have is like self-deprecating and just destructive.
Yeah,
and anything, like, you can try and think of anything, but for some reason it always just comes right back to whatever's really wrong.
Yeah,
and even sometimes it's something that's not wrong with you, and you can tell yourself like, this isn't a problem, like, get the fuck over it. And yet still, like, by the end of that day, you get to that place. And that's where some substance abuse can come from.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, I'll say at least this much on the podcast. Like, there's a reason I have a drinking problem to a point. Like, my kids have always been a source of focus for me. Like, if it involves them, I can make myself do the right thing. So when it comes to drinking, I never drink when I'm around them. I never really need to, because they're a source of light. Yeah. But when they're gone, it's a different subject. Mm-hmm. So, like, coming from my perspective, again, I will not go into the deepest parts of it, but it just seems like everyone's got bipolar. Everyone's got, like, these problems, and everyone's about to kill themselves. But no, like, so many people just aren't. So many people just can't deal.
Yeah, and like I said, there's people that I work with, they're like, God, I just want to go home and kill myself. Yeah. And I'm like, no, you fucking don't.
You don't. Not
like,
yet.
If you legitimately wanted to do that, you wouldn't be here today. Like, you would have called off. You wouldn't have been able to get out of bed. You wouldn't have been able to move.
Right.
Because every thought of moving scares you because of what you might do with that next step.
Exactly. And again, I'm coming from a place where I've had to call off work. It's been rare, and in my job, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Not too much without getting fired. So I risked getting fired a couple times because it just didn't matter to me for a moment. Yeah, it's not something to be taken lightly, and it pisses me off when I see articles about, like, Chester, like, this new report says Chester was murdered, and literally every suicide case, that fucking report gets made. He was murdered. No.
Could be a potential murder. No.
Come the fuck on, guys. Like, what is this? This is like mass Hollywood hanging murderer. Like, and honestly, we've only had two: Robin Williams and Chester Bennington.
Chris Cornell.
Chris Cornell was hanging?
I'm sorry.
Okay, I didn't remember that, or maybe I didn't. I feel like I would have remembered that. I don't think I knew.
No, like, and the
thing really, is, if there was some sort of, like, murder conspiracy, Robin Williams, then two musicians from the 90s, like, most popular from the 90s and early 2000s.
Like,
seriously, like, that's a weird conspiracy.
You can hear, like, Chester has dealt with problems for a while. Like, you can hear that in lyrics.
Well, yeah, and the first song, and that's why I brought it up on my phone. You noticed when I brought it up.
I've been thinking
the
about.
The first song, like, because I did what a lot of fans did do. Like, I'm like, again, the shit was I already had it.
Yeah.
Some of it was on my phone and regularly listened to. This song wasn't one of them, but I put all of my Linkin Parks songs in one playlist, and I just listened to them, like, throughout the day. And the very first one that came up was Shadow of the Day. And it was so ironic, because it's kind of a goodbye letter, or kind of a, like, love letter to someone who may have killed themselves. And
look who fucking shows up in time for the serious part of right? Shit.
Like, the very first time we ever get serious, he comes in.
I don't like the serious stuff.
Ah, shit. Well, you're gonna have to deal with this.
We're talking about our old buddy Chester.
And okay, so what we were talking about, Shadow of the Day, we brought it up. Like, we've gotten pretty deep into this already.
I have some info you guys might not have heard.
Do you want to say
it might have happened while we were doing all this, but there's an investigation going on him and Chris Cornell's death.
We already talked about that.
Oh yeah. This is the first time I was hearing
about it. The chances of these being murders are highly unlikely,
because, like, Robin Williams also hung himself. It's kind of a crapshoot way out. Okay, like, it could last a moment, but more than likely it's a snap of the neck. And
depending on how you do it. Yeah. Now, because the thing is, Robin Williams, he hung himself, but he died of asphyxiation.
Yeah.
So his lasted, like, he left this world tortured.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Again,
Granted, I've never.
He knew
it. Myself.
And he knew this was him taking the way out. So after a moment of realizing what was going on, maybe he took that time to ponder on things or think back on his life. Or something. I don't know what exactly was going on in his head.
Yeah.
But damn, that's some deep thoughts.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
So I've never really thought about the asphyxiation version of hanging yourself before and what might happen in your brain, but damn, I just did.
When someone had just told me about the investigation and stuff, I was like, I feel like this is just another thing that it's spurred up because of people talking about it. Yeah,
time,
media.
We literally just said it every time this happens.
I feel like it was feeding off my own paranoia that too many people were dying like this because I was like, what if there's a link? I was just talking about it one day.
Can you think of any other three than those two musicians and Robin Williams?
No.
Yeah, there's no conspiracy here,
yeah.
for sure. Anyways, we were talking about how Shadow of the Day was the first song to come, and I made this post on Facebook. It was the first song to come up after I put all of my Linkin Park songs on shuffle, and everything I have is alphabetical, so this wasn't the first thing in line. So Shadow of the Day came up, and it was extremely ironic and appropriate because the very first verse here is, I closed both the locks below the window. I close both blinds and turn away. Sometimes solutions aren't so simple because sometimes goodbye is the only way. And the sun will set for you. This goes into the chorus. The sun will set for you. And the shadow of the day will embrace the world in gray, and the sun will set for you. And that's a suicide note, more or less, right there, yeah.
And the thing about this song is, it's older. It's I want to say this is 2011, 2012.
Damn, I just read the second verse. And,
yeah.
This whole thing is a fucking suicide letter.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I said, you can tell that he's been dealing with these issues for years.
Was he the main writer, or was it both him and
him and Mike were both writers for Linkin Park? But I know, I'm pretty sure Chester was more heavy-handed in the writing than Mike was.
Yeah,
especially in the. Well, I wouldn't say more in the beginning. I feel like Chester's became more prevalent in the music because Mike Shinoda's had a lot of side projects.
Yeah, I think Mike was more so in the beginning because you could see how much more prevalent Mike was in the earlier music versus now he's just a lot of backup vocals and keyboards.
And I mean that started from the mid 2000s. Where he was he was always appearing on these other songs and stuff.
Fort Minor.
Fort Minor was a thing. Yeah. But yeah, we lost a hell of a writer and musician.
Yeah, I mean we lost another.
I wanted to say
teenage years.
I wanted to say singer, but if we're being realistic, he was a screamer.
Oh no, he sang. I mean,
does he sing
this?
He sang this entire song.
Yes.
Oh wow! Sometimes
shut up when I'm talking to you.
Yeah,
that's him.
I don't know. Maybe it's hard for me to differentiate between him and Mike when they're singing because Mike only sings.
Yeah.
Mike sings.
Mike sings and raps.
Yeah.
And Chester sang and screams.
Yeah. He rocks.
But, we'll move on. As far as we know, we're going to wake up tomorrow and keep going on with our lives. And, we are mostly unaffected by this. But,
in our day-to-day, it'll be okay.
Our thoughts and good vibes and all that go out to... the guys of Linkin Park, his family, his wife, his kids.
Man, he had 6 kids.
Yeah. Did you guys see where people? It was more of a meme post, but someone was like, "Look at this piece of shit who kills himself when he's got 6 kids," and obviously whoever made that didn't know what the fuck.
No, you want to know who said that? You want to know who called him a pussy for taking the coward's way out? The guitarist from Korn.
Yeah, that's right.
Korn. Yeah,
I forgot who it was.
Yep.
But
I saw that.
I like a lot.
So, all right, with saying the coward's way out, I've never really considered it the coward's way out.
Takes a lot of
I
balls,
don't think. Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, it takes a lot of
Yeah.
balls. I don't think it's ever the right decision, but at the same time, I can see where the decision comes from.
Yeah.
At the same time, when you have kids, when you have that many kids, like just one kid,
Yeah.
in my opinion, is reason enough. Like, even trains, for fuck's sake.
When I pulled in, I didn't want my brake pads to be squeaking through the window like. So I was like,
shit,
pulling in
I was just
slow as I
saying,
could.
saying something so fucking serious, and then trains. Yeah, fuck you too. Anyways, oh god. Anyway, yeah. So, shit. Where was my mind at? I'm fucking. No, when you have kids, like you know, before that decision, anyone should think about the people left behind. And if it's still a good decision to you after that, like I understand, but anytime you have kids, especially if you're an active part of their life, and you think about them before you do it, there's no way you can reasonably make that decision. And maybe his mind wasn't there. Maybe he didn't think about the kids. I'm not saying, like, I'm not trying to shit on him, but he did have kids. He did. Yeah. Like, there was it is shitty. It is shitty that he did that to those kids in a way.
Yeah.
And again, this is not me discounting his reasons. It's not me saying that he's a piece of shit. It's just saying that, like, that is one really shitty part of his action.
Yeah.
Like, the decision he made has this really shitty effect. And, yeah, those kids won't necessarily be the same.
Oh, no.
Because of this. So, yeah, like, half of this dude's opinion is right, and the other half is just blind. So, yeah. Oh,
guys.
Shit. I don't,
shit got serious.
It got serious.
Serious shit.
Honestly, I don't see us, like, taking this anywhere else. Like, no more high points. Like, yeah. Let's sign off on this one. We maybe have some more recording ahead of us. Anyways, my name is Vincent Herman, the Human.
James Odle, Alpha Spectre.
And joining us in the tail end,
last minute, Travis Herman, Dr. T. Neal.
Thank you for joining us on Serious Shit. I said all the spiel at the social media shit at the beginning, right?
I think so.
Yeah, all right. Just do that. Whatever. Goodbye. Oh, we don't have an outro. Travis.